Rajeev, I'm curious to know a little bit more about the readiness of your, the Guadalajara, Mexico TCS operations in terms of intelligent automation. So looking at it from a global view, you've got leadership out of India. What is the view on Guadalajara's readiness? In other words, we talked a lot about the next generation of Nearshore at this conference and really offering a higher level of service. So how do you paint that picture for your organization?
No, I think this whole digital and this what we call as industrial 4.0 or business 4.0, I think it's a blessing in disguise for Nearshore as an industry, because we don't have to just carry on the same time zone or being near. Obviously, they are the inherent advantages what Mexico as a country offers. But with Agile coming into picture, where this same-day interactions with the clients is becoming so much important, and on the automation part and on the intelligence part, where you need to be so much interacting with the clients that the same time zone becomes even much more important. So now the important thing what we have discussed in some of the previous panels also is, do we have the people, for example, take it forward. One is, yes, it's an advantage, but do we have the people to carry out these responsibilities at the same competency where anybody across the globe will do? Okay. There will not be any compromise on the quality just because it's Mexico, for example. If the clients are expecting, they will expect the top and the top. So how do you train the people who can compete with a site or with a city which is like 5-decade-old city compared to someone which just started maybe a decade old? So that is what is the focus of us and the rest of the companies in the region, and also the big push that the government is providing on, for example, Digital City is a big initiative of the government of Guadalajara. So they are trying to have this incubate a lot of the startups, a lot of the innovation. So it's not just only the training of the people. Are the people getting the real-time opportunity to work on those type of projects? Right. So that otherwise what will happen, you'll train a lot of people, and since there is a lack of the projects, they will go away somewhere. Somebody will turn up into US, somebody will go to India, somebody will go to Europe. Right. So is there a local ecosystem where the people can work on those technologies and show their innovative side is what is very important with Guadalajara has been able to do it with the support of the government.
So when I first met you, Rajeev, I think it was maybe 2010, 2011, and at that time, I believe you had 600, 700,
yes.
And now you're up to 4,000.
Yes, yes.
So that, and you've opened Queretaro.
Yes.
So I'm very curious to know what has been the experience you've heard from clients going back 6 or 7 years. Have some of the same clients stayed? Are they all clamoring? What's the word? I mean, do they ever leave? Do they? What do clients say? Because obviously these guys are working with a lot of Fortune 50s. They're looking at very serious, large companies. So.
Yes. Our repeat business as a company is close to 98%. I mean, every single dollar, 98 cents actually come from the same clients that we run. So about 2% is what comes from the new companies that we start. So for Mexico or for Guadalajara in specific, our rate is more or less the same. So most of the business is once a client comes to Guadalajara, probably this initial cycle of interaction in terms of they coming and experience, obviously they trust us with their projects, but sometimes they have to come to Guadalajara and meet our people, see the infrastructure, talk to the government agencies, and the moment they get convinced that yes, it's a right ecosystem and they can trust in the quality of service in terms of the security of the lot of IP related stuff that we do. So whether my data is safe here, I think from there there is no going back.
Right.
And we see the clients going from.
Same question for you, Raj. What are you? A couple of years now you're in yes. Guadalajara. How do your clients react? What happens when you bring them down, et cetera?
So initially, when we first set that office up, it was largely to support some of the existing clients that we had. And for them, it was largely easy because they were already working with us. They had a good relationship going on with us, and it was just a different location where we would be servicing them from and give them the benefit of the cost, which was simple. But the new customers that we bring in, so Guadalajara they have heard of it before. Nearshoring to Mexico, they already know is happening. With the changes that are happening more and more from the outsourcing perspective, it became easy. So the place is great. The government has provided excellent infrastructure for everybody, and the location that we have is right in Centro del Software. So they come in, they see, good infrastructure, high-speed connectivity, no power cuts. Employees are diligent and coming on time, and no regular off days and all that stuff. So that has kind of built the confidence for the customer.
Okay.
So when they come in, they are coming into a system where they see that it's mature. It's not a new thing. It might be new for them to try, but that system has been there for a while.
Okay. I do want to bring up, because every once in a while, well, you hear it almost in every market in this business is, concern about, the rise of pay or pressure on wages. Let's be honest, it happens in all good markets, right?
Absolutely.
But is there anything particularly concerning about Guadalajara that you guys have seen relative to pressure on wage?
It's changing for sure. Over the last 3 years, he's been there obviously for much longer, but over the last 3 years, we've seen it change. But the good thing about that is that the quality of talent has also improved. The quality of talent has improved, because of which the pay raises pay scales have gone higher. And we have a little bit of a different problem to deal with, than TCS, for example, because TCS is a big name for people to work for. Sometimes there are employees who would work for TCS or a larger client for lesser. So what we do is we have kind of increased our training perspective in Guadalajara, and we are bringing in slightly more junior people, but putting them through training, and we already have live projects that they could work on. And it's a give and a take, We get good talent from there, and we put it right back with training, and it's working good.
You guys have other comments on that point, Frank?
I think once you make the decision to not have everyone in one place, I don't think it's about wage competition in Guadalajara. I think it's about wage competition in North America. So, if you're a company headquartered in San Francisco, I was just talking to someone, I'd helped find someone in Mexico recently. He was looking at someone in Charlotte, he was looking at someone in St. Louis, and he was looking at a couple folks in Mexico. And it was really no different. The English is effectively on par. And so it is certainly cheaper in Mexico, but I think there's significant upward pressure on that as you get more and more people that see it as it's either in the office or it's out of the office. And if it's out of the office, it doesn't make a huge difference where it is.
Okay, let's dial back. Did you have a point?
Yeah.
Sure.
I just want to mention a little bit. I don't know if you know the whole story about why this ecosystem exists nowadays. I'm going to be really sure. I know I'm interfering between the drinks and this. So it was 40 years ago that everything started. And we started as a manufacturing country, as a manufacturing city. And that was all the beginning, but every single big brand was there since then. Mm-hmm. And
IBM has been there forever, right? There's
yes,
80 years.
yeah.
HP, IBM.
Yeah, it's already an asset there. So the thing is that with the crisis and everything changing and now moving because of manufacturing prices in China and the whole thing that we already know, so we needed to reinvent. So, and start betting more on the talent. And that's exactly what you can see today. Now, universities and the companies and the government and everyone is interacting with each other, and we're all trying to get into the same point, and we're trying to get some efforts. I mean, it's not perfect. We have a lot of opportunities to work with, but at the end, it is there and it is happening, and it's being built during 40 years. So it is not something that happened just yesterday or something. It is something with really a strong basis, and that is important because we've been working together so many years. And the second really important thing is that, it was IBM and HP and these big guys since the very beginning. And instead of seeing each other as a competition, right, they actually created a chamber. And they start working with a chamber, and that is also something really important, that we have a chamber that can talk to everyone in the ecosystem and can start working with the government and have the power to talk with the government, because at the
Great
end they
point.
put
Right.
all the jobs together, all the money together, everything in just one basket, and they go and knock at every single door, and all the doors are open.